But I think Liberia broke me. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I am in Ghana. I left Liberia. And in this video, so this video is gonna be real talk, like straight talk, sharing my experience with you and telling you just how it is, okay? I've been in Ghana for about 2 weeks, so I left Liberia sooner than I wanted to. I left Liberia right after New Year. I couldn't do it. I had to leave. I had to leave. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you why I left Liberia. So we were planning to leave, I think like the 8th or 9th. So, but I left Liberia 1 week sooner than I wanted to. And I wish I had left a little sooner than that. But there were some things that we were working on, and we needed to complete it before leaving. So I'm going to talk to you about why I left and some things that you need to prepare for if you're thinking about relocating to Liberia, and how to prepare yourself. Because I always say there are lots of tips and pointers to relocation that YouTubers talk about, like the housing, the physical things that we all get acquainted with, but not a lot of people talk about the emotional aspect of it. A lot of people just either suffer in silence, or it's like, I don't want to let my viewers down and make it seem like it's not a good idea to move. But with me, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna tell you what it is. And again, I will say, it's not something that makes you regret. I have not regretted moving to Africa whatsoever. But I want to share with you the journey, all of it, the physical, the emotional, and all of that. And the decisions that I made during those times, so that it can help guide you in a more truthful way, okay? So living in, well, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a different glow for Ghana. There's a different glow for Ghana. And I'm sitting outside. The sun is bright, but there's a little wind underneath it. The wind is not as much as Liberia because Monrovia is just right along the coast. So you get more wind. I think from where I am, the ocean is not as close to me, but I still get wind. So I'm enjoying the wind. And I'm sitting in the front of my house on the low porch. I'm gonna turn the camera around so I can just show you the yard. Just show you the yard. So this is the yard. You can see the trees are moving. That's the wind. So you probably could hear it too. Yep. And it's wonderful. I have a lot more information. To give you guys about my stay here in Ghana and how I've been liking it. But let's talk about Liberia first. And I do have some other content from Liberia that I have not uploaded, so they will still be coming up. And I may be mixing them up, like Ghana and Liberia and stuff like that. But if it is your first time here, I relocated to Ghana as a transitional process to move to my home country, Liberia. We came here this year, and I've been traveling around, and I'm finally back in Ghana to actually make it like home, like be comfortable. And I was in Liberia for the Christmas holiday, and I'm here to share my experience and why I left sooner than I wanted to. So when I first got to Liberia, I was super excited. You guys all know, like I had not been there for almost a year. I was just so excited. The glow was there and all of that, and I wanted to do this Vlogmas. I knew it was the first for Liberia, and I had no idea the struggles I would come up with, but I was willing to like just give it a try, you know. And of course, there were things outside of my control, and there were things that I think should be in my control that weren't in my control, which made me feel even more powerless. Um, and I did plan to talk to you guys about some of the challenges that I faced with the Vlogmas videos. And that content will be uploaded soon. So I'm not going to give too much away in this video. I'm just going to talk about why I left Liberia sooner than I wanted to. Number one, I think the number one reason, or the biggest reason of all, was my mental health status, my emotional health and mental health. I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna be fair and honest here, okay? I'm not gonna blame it all on Liberia, but I think Liberia broke me. Liberia was like my experience in Liberia this gone December was like breaking the camel's back. I started feeling, and I think the whole emotional journey was just feeling really homesick, because we came to Ghana in June. We were here for 3 months. We were in Airbnb. We bounced around from Airbnb to Airbnb. And the thing is, my personality, all of that contributed to my state of mind. And I really didn't like that. I really wanted to just be settled already. And we couldn't get our place in time, and we had to travel back to the States. So we went back to the States for some family functions and to pick up our daughter. And then there were other things out of our control that we had to take care of before coming back, which made us stay a little longer than we wanted to. And this whole time we've given away our place, right? Like, we've actually moved out of the US. We have things in storage and we're with family. So then we stayed in the US for an additional 3 months. And this whole time we're living out of suitcases. Like, I actually every day have to fold the things so they're not all over the place. And you're in this space that is designated for you. And even your routine is a little off because it's not your space. Like, there are just certain things you can do at a certain time of the day because you're sharing spaces. And mentally, for me, that started to break me a little bit. So towards the end of my trip in the US, I kept complaining, like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go. I just want to be in my own place now. I'm so sick of living in suitcase, because it had been like 6 months and we were still living out of suitcases. And even my daughter started feeling the same way. She's like, I just want to be in my own space. I'm tired of either sharing space or like I just want to be in my room, because she loves her room. She loves to be in her room. She can be there for hours at a time, and we wouldn't even miss each other. We're all introverts, and we like to be in with everyone, but we also like to like fall back and step in our own spaces. So that last few weeks, I felt like I was just stuck in the room a lot, and it had nothing to do with our family members. They were super nice, welcoming, give us, like, we have full access. But for me now to have my own like alone time, I would be in the room, and it would bother me because I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope my sister-in-law isn't feeling bad that I'm like in my space, and or the fact that I keep saying I can't wait to go. I hope she doesn't feel like she's doing anything wrong. And I kept telling her, I'm like, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just mentally, I just want to be. And she too likes to be in her space, so it was no big deal. So going to Liberia, I was super excited to go. And then I got to Liberia. The first few weeks, I would say the first 2 weeks was kind of fun. I got to do things. It wasn't really crowded yet. I got to do things that I wanted to do, hang out with my sister, and like met some new some of my friends, my husband's partners, and it was good. Okay. And then Christmas started to come by. Once we entered December, it was a different story. There were just a lot of things happening. And another thing too that was a little crazy, I told you guys about when you don't have your own place in Liberia, it gets to be a little harder. The reason why some people can't even go back to visit is because of the process that you have to go through when you don't have your own designated place in Liberia, or if it's not to your comfort level. Now, you can adapt, you can adjust when you're in other people's spaces, but there are just certain things that you may prioritize more, that may not be available, and you would have to manage. Now, which is no big deal under normal circumstances, but I think because my mental health was already in a homesick like space, the little things that were happening that are normal for Liberia, for example, like electricity going, and not having access to air conditioning, and just being really hot, like just inward, and all of that was just breaking me mentally. Or being stuck at home because the car broke down, and not being able to go get the things that I want to get done because I'm stuck in traffic for like 3 hours, and by the time I get there the day is over. And so all of these little things that are supposed to be normal for Liberia, they start getting to me. They started to get to me like badly. I was just frustrated all the time. I started getting really angry. And this may sound that she did from She Speaks To, and I watched that video, and I was like, so this whole time I'm in Liberia, I'm like, yep, Joy said it. She was right. It's exactly what. So I was getting really angry. I was getting like, nothing was fun to me anymore. All I could see was the issues around me. And I tried to take the attention from on me and put it on my surrounding, because I'm like, every time I tried to complain about the little things that weren't going okay with me, the Holy Spirit will always remind me that there are a lot of people that don't even have the home that you're in, let alone, I mean, like, you're complaining about electricity. There's just so much more that people are trying to figure out here than just electricity. So tune it down a little bit. So I started to then take the attention from on me, but putting the attention on the people around me made it even worse. Now, empathy, I'm not very good with, I think I've been trying to build my emotional health, but I empathize to the point where I get sucked up in someone's pain. I feel what they feel, and that's kind of what was happening to me. Like, when I see the suffering, I see the hardship, I see all of that, I start to imagine it to a different level. I start to process it, because I'm a deep thinker, right? So I'm thinking about so many other things than just what I'm seeing, and that was killing me too mentally. It was just, so overall, my mental health was just going down in Liberia. The social issues, the chaos, the lack of systems, the attitudes of people, the processes, everything was just. And then when you talk to people who maybe have left the US or abroad and moved back, and they all just say to you, that's just how it is. There's nothing you can do. We all came here wanting to do something, but the system just chokes you, and there's nothing you can do. And then it started to make me feel even more powerless, because it's like, how the hell I can't wrap my head around it. How the hell you're telling me there's nothing that can be done? But then I'm seeing it, and I'm thinking to myself, it looks impossible. Like, to be honest, a lot of these things look impossible. But what if maybe I can start from this point? Maybe I can start from this little, and even when you come up with the little ideas, people give you all the reasons why that wouldn't work. And when you're immersed in the situation, it's easy for you to believe it, because you can see, you know? So then it started to make me just, the only time that I think I questioned being there was, will I be able to create the impact that I came so zealously to create? And I asked myself that question, because My normal life, I'm a planner, and I say this all the time. So I write things down that I want to do, and I cross them off, and I go back at the end of the week, and I'm asking myself, what did I get to accomplish this week? If I did not do them all, what could I have done better? So I'm evaluating myself. And this whole time I'm thinking to myself, don't be hard on yourself. You know, Africa is a different, things are not white or black. You know, there are a lot of gray areas. But even with that, there were just days where you can't even do just one thing. You can't even do just one thing. And then, so you go out there, you face the world, you try your best, maybe you accomplish one or two things, and then you come back home and current goes or electricity goes, and you have to deal, or maybe and the generator is broken, or something just comes up that makes you to not get the comfort that you would desire, that would just make you feel, take away the stress, that would take away the stress of the outside. And because of that, it made it really hard to be a happy person there, you know. So I just started getting sad, I started getting angry, I started cursing a lot, everything pissed me off. And I was like, you know what, I need to get out of here. Like, I need to go. I can't do it anymore. I have to go. And then you're getting low on funds because everything is money. Like, even to maintain, it was getting so bad that you're conscious about everything, because like your data, when you're on Facebook or you're on social media, you're like, oh my gosh, my data, let me turn it off. Or you're talking to your friend you haven't talked to for so long, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta go, my data. And in my mind, I'm like, I shouldn't have to be doing all of that. Like, I never did that before. I shouldn't have to do that. All these little things, or every time electricity goes, you think to yourself, I have to come up with money to put gas in the generator. And it's not small money. It's a lot of money to keep that up. So just within a week, you're just spewing money out. You're just spewing money out, spewing money out. And you start to panic or worry every time you're just worrying, you're just stressed all the time. And you start feeling like you're not as helpful as you should be. Like, even when people come to you, because you have to worry about yourself first, but then you're seeing the pain of others, and you want to help, and you start either turning into this selfish person, or you're turning into this giver, and you're suffering internally. So it was just confusing, all of that. And I wanted to be home. I wanted to be home. So the homesick feeling just came back, and it came back overwhelmingly. I was crushed. I couldn't wait to get out. And I think my friends, because we were supposed to hang out, they came from the States, and I felt bad because I couldn't really, I wasn't myself. I couldn't be the happy-go-lucky Marianne, the want to go check things out and do all of this with them, because everything just pissed me off. I was just angry. I was mad. And that's how I told my husband, you have to get the ticket sooner. We need to get out of here. I need to come out. I need to get out. And I needed it. So since I've been in Ghana, the first week I was just tired. I was beat up. I was exhausted, mentally, everything. And it felt good to be in a place where I didn't have to worry about the little things around me. And I kind of recollected myself. I put myself back together. And now I can say that I feel pretty good. I feel pretty healed and pretty at ease, that I can go back to Liberia. And I'm actually looking forward to going back to Liberia. Not right now, but I'm excited to go again. And I think the lesson in it for me was, living in Liberia is a whole different story, especially when you have lived out of Liberia for a very long time and you've been a doer wherever you've been in the West. You've been a doer, you've been systematic, you've been like getting stuff done. I wasn't just sitting, I was moving, I was getting stuff done. And being in a place where things go a little slower, things just don't happen, progress just seems slow. It's not that it's wrong, it's teaching you how to slow down too, but then it takes a lot of toil on your mental health and you need time to adjust and balance and go and like bring down those go kind of nature and readapt and all of that. And when you're in the situation and there is nothing, you can't step out, you can't do anything, it makes it really hard. And I said to my husband, I think if we had moved to Liberia, not having our own place and I have to deal with all of that, I would have packed my things and gone back to the US. And it made me to realize that we made the best decision transitioning in Ghana before going to Liberia, because this gives me the opportunity of transitioning my mind mentally and preparing myself mentally for Liberia. It introduces Liberia to me on a whole different level, and that is just how relocation is supposed to work. Don't try to feel like you can conquer the world or like you're strong. Even the strongest person, there's just things that you've been used to. When that's taken away from you, mentally is going to affect you. And you will think that you can push, but there will be the slightest thing that would just make everything come crumbling down. And I think that's what happened to me. And I'm glad that I have Ghana to step away from Liberia a little bit. So no, I'm not leaving Africa and moving back to the US, and no, I don't regret coming here. And yes, I still do plan to move to Liberia, but I'm going to face Liberia in phases and in stages. And I think that's my greatest advice to anyone who's planning to relocate. Face Liberia in stages, because that's what it's gonna take. Okay, so I hope you liked the video. Comment, share, like the video, and let me know what you think, what your thoughts are, and I will catch you in the next video. I have a lot more contents that I need to upload. I've been lazy since I got to Ghana. I've just been resting and taking care of my health, my mental health, and my self. So I hope you stay tuned, and I will talk to you again.